Welcome to Invisible. This is Monica.
And hey, this is Melly.
And welcome to the Invisible Women Podcast.
Hello, IW listeners. We have with us today the lovely attorney, author, and actor, Miss Tiffany M. Simmons, founder of Simmons Law and the face behind the brand, The Plugs Lawyer. Welcome.
Thank you for having me to my cousins.
Yes.
Family.
Yes, and for all of our listeners out there, today is just a family affair. Yes, you heard it correctly. Tiffany M. Simmons, Monica Simmons, Melody Simmons has here. We are family. And today is so special because, yep, shoulder move, shoulder move.
Listen, what's better than two Simmons girl, baby?
Than three.
We in the house.
And today is so special because this is our kickoff for Women's History. And what better way to bring in Women's History Month, but with a family member, a businesswoman, an attorney, an author, and just an all-around serial entrepreneur. So welcome. Please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself besides the fact that you're a wonderful Simmons.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on Invisible Women Podcast. I am the owner of Simmons Law. Something about myself. I am a Simmons girl. I mean, I love family. So I'm gonna say it again. I'm a Simmons girl. Shouts out to our group, Mr. and Mrs. Simmons. May God may they continue to watch over us. So a little bit about myself. Like I say, I love family. I am the owner of Simmons Law. We are the law business of this generation. We specialize in the areas of business, criminal defense, entertainment, and personal injury. So I have been practicing law 13 years. This is going into the 13th year, cousin.
That's big.
And I am, 13 years. And I am grateful to God that I am 13 years in the game, undefeated in all of my trials, civil and criminal defense.
Wonderful. So for all of our listeners out there, Tiffany M. Simmons is located in Atlanta. So if you ever need an attorney, please hit her up. So Tiffany, I think that we need to do due diligence here and we need to let people know just how smart you are. Now, I was doing my research, cousin, and what I understand is that when you were first going into law, you passed the bar exam on your first attempt. Tell our listeners about that and tell us about that process because that's a big deal.
I did pass the bar on the first time, and it is a big deal, and it is a hard process. So to all my invisible women out there, just know if you see me, it can be done. You can do it too. One of the things that I did when I was studying for the bar exam is that I focused in on just that. I did not work for the summer that I graduated law school. I didn't work that summer. And let me tell you how difficult it was. It was difficult to the point where I had lights getting cut off, electricity cut off, and I still continued on. I often share some of the challenges that I did face because, as you know, I'm the first attorney in the family. I didn't come from this. We didn't come from this.
No.
You know, we come from good people, but we didn't come from corporate America. So, to have to focus in to prepare for the bar exam, I knew that I was only going to take it once, and I knew that I had to put in the work. So I studied for the bar exam like I worked a job, 8-hour days. I don't care what was going on. I did that 8-hour days. And yes, there were times where I was crying. There were times where I was upset. There were times where I was hurt. There was times when I needed money or food or this, that, and the third. But I kept my eye on the prize. So invisible women, keep your eye on the prize because when the world doesn't see you, God sees you.
All
be
right.
seen and be heard. I hear that. Be seen and be heard. It's dedication.
And I just gotta say it. You know it's coming. What is our motto here on the Invisible Women Podcast?
Yes.
We do what? We reclaim our time. We reclaim our power, and we reclaim our confidence, baby.
Yes.
And if you didn't know anything,
well, let's claim it all then.
Let's claim it all. And if you didn't know anything, to our listeners out there, Attorney Simmons said to remain focused.
Yes.
So when you're doing something, even if you're not getting paid for it right then and there, you need to work it like you're getting paid for it. And that's something that Tiffany M. Simmons did. And look, it's paying off now. That is
dedication.
I love that. Dedication,
consistency, and I like
that. I'm glad you brought up work it like you're getting paid, because there were so many times where I worked under people, for people, helping people for free. Even as a licensed attorney, there were times that I had to work it like I was getting paid. And yes, that don't feel good all the time. But when you know God's purpose for your life, you're going to do what my cousin said. You going to work like you getting paid. And soon enough, there is going to be a time where you're going to be getting paid. And I get paid a whole lot of money.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
She getting it.
I love it. And see, those are the type of the inspirational stories that we just adore here on the Invisible Women Podcast, because trust me, it's a listener out there that wants to be an attorney, that wants to open up that business, and they need to hear, oh yeah, it's going to get tough, and it will be tough. That's life. You won't have a life without going through trials and tribulations. Right. But the rainbow is on the other side.
Right. Well, I definitely.
You know what? Can I throw something in there?
Absolutely.
You talking about a tough attorney? You know I do what I want to do anyway. But look, let me throw this in there, because again, family, and I'm with my family right now. Remember when we had to lay our grandfather to rest?
Yes.
The same day I had to fly out. The very same day I had to fly out to fly to Michigan, I had a civil trial for a client.
Yes.
That I had to do before I caught that flight. So that's one of the doing the things that you gotta do. And the whole time during the trial, you know who I thought about was Granddad. Yeah. And I said, I'm doing this for my granddad. And sure enough, I beat we won the trial. Nice. And I made my way to Michigan.
Yes.
So I have ate, breathe, sleep, SHIT this.
Yes.
I live this. This is me. This is in my blood. So when you see the Plug's lawyer, even if you wonder what the Plug's lawyer means, you know that I'm authentic to it. You know that this is me. It ain't no gimmick. It's not a game. It's not something that I'm using to try to sell something. I don't have to sell it, because good dope sell itself.
No, that's right.
Yes. Yes. See, all of our listeners are just soaking up, soaking it up, taking notes. You better be picking up what she is laying down.
Give us the game. Well, one thing that you mentioned, I just want to hear a little bit more so you can share with our listeners that you didn't come from lawyers. Tell us a little bit about the younger Tiffany. Did you see this life for yourself? What did you want to be when you grew up? How did you get to this point? Tell us about all that.
Okay. Well, for your viewers or your listeners that don't know, and I know you all know this story, but I was a young girl and something happened to me on the other side of the family that wasn't very nice and very good. Okay. And I was violated. And when that situation happened, I felt like no one spoke up for me. I kind of felt like I was on trial, because what ultimately happened was because and this is a little graphic
we
for
appreciate
your listeners,
but we appreciate transparency here,
and it's a grown-up show.
yeah and I don't mind it, because I know there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. I know there's somebody out there that feels damaged, and they need to know that they're not damaged.
Okay.
So that's why I share this. And I'm using the word damaged because one of the people that follow me on social media, he mentioned to me, well, you were violated by a relative. You had thoughts of suicide and you told us that. So I look at you as damaged.
No.
And I said, whoa, out of all of the things, well, first of all, I said, why would you follow a damaged person?
Right.
And then I also said, furthermore, suicidal thoughts are more normal than not.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't have the attorney and the beauty queen who committed suicide a month ago. We wouldn't have the beauty queen who jumped off a building just a week ago. That was a beautiful Black woman.
Yes, she was.
So when I speak of things and when I'm transparent about the things that made me the Plug's lawyer, just know it's not from a space of damage. It's not from a space of brokenness. It's not from a space of trauma. It's from a space of showing y'all that y'all can do it too.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So let me get that disclaimer out of the way,
Okay.
and let me get to the story. I'm doing good with my no cussing. Granny would be smiling right
now. Look at God.
Look,
I'm really working on it. Okay.
Listen, Attorney Simmons, what we're doing here on a Visitor Women, trust me, this is bigger than what you think. We getting prepared to take this somewhere. So that's why we try to make sure we don't have to have a lot of bleep. It's a way. You know this as an attorney to communicate effectively using those wonderful words that don't
exactly. And because I have a few corporate sponsors that I'm working with is bigger than me in the Plug's lawyer brand. So and I'm a smart woman, so I have a wide vocabulary and I'm working on using it. So let me finish the story.
Carry on.
You're looking at a woman. You're looking at a woman that was molested by a relative. A relative that I looked at as my brother, but he was an uncle. And again, this is not on the Simmons side at all. Okay. And much respect to all of my family.
Yes.
That may listen to this audio later. Okay, so the situation that happened to me feeling like I was on trial, no one to speak up for me, that was the catalyst that said that I was going to be a lawyer. That was the catalyst that said that I was going to be the voice for the voiceless.
Okay.
That was the catalyst that grew the Tiffany that if we want to flip it and take it off of that serious topic of abuse, take it to our other mutual cousin, our sister cousin, Lovey. Yes. When somebody spit in her face, I knocked on their door and went and slapped her. So the bravery I had to protect people, to help people, to support people, some that stemmed from me not being protected and supported.
Okay. And see, that's a wonderful story. First of all, I just want to commend you for your transparency. And I just want to say that I am sorry that you had to experience that. But then again, I'm not sorry because it made you into the beautiful, unique individual that you are today. And it made you into the attorney. And so for all of our listeners out there, Melody and I, we always talk about this. There's always something that happens in your life that triggers you to your highest power. And see, once you know that, because that also takes a discerning spirit to understand that, oh my God, this happened to me. I feel so bad. I feel so helpless. But you'll soon realize that you're going to turn that help into honor, and you're going to wear that badge, and you're going to help tons of other people that are in that situation. So we appreciate.
And you know one thing, because with our faith is strong in our family. Our granddad was a minister.
Sure,
give you double for your shame. So God has given me double. God has blessed me so much in my life. I'm very grateful. I don't regret anything I've experienced, from loving people that didn't love me back, from school, from debt, from situations in church, and situations in corporate America, situations in the legal profession. All of those things made me who I am. All of those things, we are here on this earth for an experience. We are here to give this earth our gifts, right? So they can see God and praise God in heaven. So if you're running around scared or living in fear or living in the trauma that you experienced, that's not giving glory and honor to God. That's not living this life experience. We're here to live a life experience, and it's not always gonna be sweet. It always ain't gonna be pretty. It always ain't gonna be nice.
You're very, very right about that.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
And a lot of times we always say, right, sometimes when you're a very empathetic person, you have a big heart, a loving heart. Oftentimes people do take our kindness for weakness, right? But like I said, nothing goes unrewarded, right? God sees our good works. And I want to thank you for all that you've been doing for the people. And we definitely appreciate you here.
Yes, we do. And so then let's discuss when did it come up? So you passed the bar exam. When did you decide I'm going to start my own law firm? And tell us the birth of the Plug Lawyer for all of our listeners out there. What is it? Let's talk about all this great stuff that you do and you keep doing.
Okay. Well, I always knew that I was going to have Simmons Law. And I say that because I come from a family of entrepreneurs. We have entrepreneurs on the Simmons side as well as on my other side. My grandmother, Taylor, she had hair salons and she did not even have a GED until she was in her 40s. Wow. So that is an example of this, God's grace and God placing purpose in her life. And I grew up in the shops. My mom did hair, so of course I grew up in the shops. I started businesses when I was a little girl. I remember being in high school and I told my high school principal that I wanted to start a school store, and he said okay, and he let me. So I was the candy lady in the school.
Blow pop for 25 cents.
Because I was hustling, and I always had that hustle about me because I just knew that I didn't want to live a paycheck to paycheck life. I knew that I wanted to aspire to be something very big because I want a great legacy for our family name.
Right? Yes.
That's beautiful. It sounds like that seed was planted.
It was, and it's if for all of our listeners out there, if you listen to the mentality of an entrepreneur, it's not something that happens overnight. It's really something that's almost in your DNA because you're always thinking about the next big thing. Like for my mother, she would always tell us, and I would never forget these words. Every time we would do something great, she would always say, okay, well, what's next? What are you going to do next? We're not going to get stuck on one great thing. So she always told us to keep moving, keep moving. I think we have that to this day. We're highly ambitious, and I know that you're an extremely ambitious woman yourself. But that all comes with a state of mind. I like to say it's the golden state of mind. It's your mentality to always think about. Like I say, people love social media. If you're on social media for more than 3 hours and you're not advertising your business, you need to get into the business of advertising social media because
you're wasting your time.
That part.
One of the things you asked me, and I want to touch on my show Hood Court, but you asked me, where did the Plug Lawyer come from? Okay, where did the Plug's Lawyer come from? That is a nickname I've had for a lot of years. It came from a lot of things. Growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I left home at 17. I seen the good and the bad of streets. I seen the good and the bad of a lot of things, especially being a kid that grew up in a hair salon. The hair salon is the epicenter of Black life. That's where Black people come. That's where they go to sell clothes, sell whatever, electronics, all of those things. So for me, I never wanted to be the type that worked with the corner boy. I'm working with the plug. For me, you see, I have power written on my hand right here. I always aspired to have power, to be a person of power, and to
Yes.
use that power wisely.
That
And
part.
of course, some of that subconsciously probably came from me being violated as a childhood,
Yeah.
reclaiming my power.
Okay, now.
So
Give
the
me a
Plugs
power.
Lawyer, that's kind of, yes, that's kind of where that name came from, just childhood nickname. If I'm gonna be, you know, the lawyer, I'm gonna be the Plugs Lawyer.
The
And of
best
course,
way to
God
be,
is the
baby.
plug. So I'm God's lawyer all day.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and so it's things like that. So we're just building our listeners up because you have so much going on and so many great positive things. So now we got out the way that you passed your bar exam on the first attempt. Woo woo! You open up your own law firm, Simmons Law. Woo woo! And then you're known as the Plugs Lawyer. So now I want to get into, also for our listeners, she's an author. So how did that all brew up?
And guess what? I got your book
Wow.
right here.
Oh yeah.
Hey!
There we go, the Plugs
You
Lawyer.
see, I got your other one.
So
Okay, Law and Family Court as well.
I got you.
Yes, you can get my books, Amazon, Kindle, Barnes and Nobles. You can get my books, and if you see me on these streets, I might have one in my trunk for you because
Oh,
you
that's
know
right.
every
That's
day
right.
I'm
Ready,
with
so you
you.
don't gotta get ready,
Hello.
baby.
I love
Right,
it.
stay ready. Well, being an attorney, we often write, we often read. I've been a writer since I was a young girl. Even when I was in middle school, high school, I would win essay contests and all these sorts of things. So writing is something, speaking and using my words is something that I've always been able to use well.
Right.
So the first book, actually, I co-authored Street Kings 2, Damian Baker, shout out to him. He's a Grand Rapids native. He grew up in the streets of Grand Rapids, went to prison, got out, became an author. And so Street Kings 2 was very dope for me because in the book, I'm actually mentioned, the characters actually come to Simmons Law. So I am ingrained in entertainment in so many ways. And that was, you know, to be ingrained in entertainment through literature was something pretty dope. So that was my first book. That's Law is a book for law students, young attorneys. That is just a short ebook to just give you some of the game of the legal profession.
Okay.
Law and Family Order, which is one of the books that you just shown your viewers. That book is a book for women to show that you can have business and family. That book is it's not about law. It's about balancing business and family and having success in both.
Okay.
It's my story and 11 other ladies that co-authored that book with me. So ladies, check that out. I think we're going to redesign the cover because I'm going to be honest, and this is something in business. Sometimes you got to change branding and marketing.
We know about
that.
The cover of that book, a lot of people think that it's a law book. So I have to explain to them, no, if you see Beyonce balancing family and business, you see Cardi B balancing family and business success, you see the Plugs Lawyer balancing business and family success, you can do it too. And that book, Law and Family Order, that's what that talks about.
Love it, love it, love it. Yes, yes.
I love it.
And so for all of our listeners out there, also Attorney Simmons has a show, and I want you to let our listeners know about that. It is called Hood Court. So give us everything we need to know. We're giving you 2-3 minutes to just lay it down so they can pick it up, because I know you have a busy day and I got to jump on a meeting in 7 minutes. Okay. So go for it. It's go time.
Okay. Well, we're going to do a quick rundown. And another book that I didn't tell you about, of course, The Plugs Lawyer. That's a trap novel. It's fiction, loosely based on my life. You can grab that as well because the movie, The Plugs Lawyer, will be coming out. And one more book, which is a poetry book.
Watch out, it's coming to a theater near you.
That is a limited edition book. Yes, The Plugs Lawyer movie is coming to a theater near you.
Okay.
the other book that I just said to you guys, that one is called Look But Don't Touch the Art. That one is a poetry limited edition lookbook that is out and available. $20, but it's only a few copies out there. So that wraps up my books. As far as the show, I am the Hood Judge Judy, Judge Tip in the building. Yes, I have a show called Hood Court.
Okay, love it. She is laying it down. I see it.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, my show Hood Court, we pull up on you cheater style and we fix your legal issue. So if you have a case that you want to bring to our Hood Court, all you got to do is hit us at Hood Court ATL on Instagram, because there's some imposters, but we the one and only, the real, the number one, the highest rated, the highest paid. Because if Judge Judy can get 52 million, we getting 100 million for Hood Court with Judge Tip.
I love it. And see, I wish you were around a couple years ago, because I swear it was a couple people that owed me some money. And we could have had Hood Court just pull up on them wherever they were and say, hey, you owe this woman this money.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay.
And definitely invisible women. Well, let me tell them, invisible women, I don't want to feel invisible with my show. So be sure to subscribe to the Plugs Lawyer YouTube channel. We got episodes of Hood Court. Be sure to add yourself to the Hood Court ATL page on Instagram, because I don't want to feel invisible. This page and this show is going to be number one, and it's going to be number one with y'all help.
Okay. That's right. Absolutely. And so that's what we do here on the Invisible Women podcast, because it's almost like that tagline. We've been doing these things. That's why we have beautiful, strong, confident women and men like yourself on here, because it's like we're not invisible. We've been doing this. And so be seen and be heard. And so, go follow her. She's the Plugs Lawyer all throughout. Subscribe to her YouTube page. What days do Hood Court come on?
Hood Court, we do Hood Court live on Instagram on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. However, if they go to the YouTube channel, they can watch the episodes back to back to back, over and over and over. They can comment, like, share, subscribe, all of the above anytime they want to. It's right on your phones. It's right on your computer.
Okay. And see, big things are going to come out of all these shows. You never know. We might end up creating our own platform for all of our shows and all of our podcasts. I'll speak that to an existence right now. And I know Tiffany does manifestation really well. Can you leave our listeners with some affirmation, something that you manifested, something that you said that can just give them the spirit of positivity before we in this podcast?
Okay, one thing we don't want to leave out, being a Black attorney and then a Black female attorney is not an easy task, right? The percentage is probably less than 5%. I don't know exactly. You probably know the numbers, attorney, but it's very low.
For Black female attorneys, is 1.78% in United States. So you're only going to see 1.78% of people that are similar to me, but it's only one me.
I know
So you asked for a gym. Do you mind if I go get my prayer card? I actually pull a prayer card when I do Hood Court. So I'm going to leave the invisible women with a little taste of Hood Court. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab it.
No problem. Go ahead. Go for it. Okay, listeners, get prepared. It looks like she's about to give us some positive jewels and gems to take with us on this afternoon.
She said, go ahead and you check out the Law and Family Order. I'm just going to showcase that. Here we go. And then we also got The Plugs Lawyer. So these are her 2 books. There was an additional one. I do not have that, but go ahead and check her out.
Oh, no.
That's a sign that you're about to climb up to the top.
So what we get from that, you may fall down in life,
but you will get back up
and pick yourself up.
You will get back up.
Simmons Law, the Plugs Lawyer just showed y'all that, right? We transparent here.
Right. We fall down, but we get up.
And that's what we
Donnie McClurkin, hello.
Okay, look, that was all, God orchestrated. We fall down, but we get up.
Yes.
All right. So I pull a prayer card on Hood Court.
Okay.
And so I'm going to pull one for the invisible women and leave y'all with something that will enrich your soul, because yes, we can be eye candy ladies, but we want to give people soul food as well. We can be pretty on the outside.
Right.
We can be so ugly on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Women can be some of the most insecure and bitter. And that's not of God. Us Simmons girls, and big ups to my cousins. We are beautiful on the inside and out. And I'm saying it for them, and I'm saying it for myself. And I say that a lot of people, they're intimidated by that, and they try to dim our shine. So to my beautiful cousin, don't dim your shine for no effing body.
That's right.
Ever.
That's right. There we go.
Funny that you say that, because I think we talked about that when we go around and for our New Year's, and we just kind of talk about what we're gonna do. And I said one thing: we're not gonna dim our shine for nobody. Sometimes you might be too bright. If you can't take it, to put your sunglasses on or keep it moving, baby.
There you go.
So let's go.
Exactly. And see, this is the joy of Hood Court, because God tells me what to say at the right time. And see, this is fitting.
Amen.
When I say that to the invisible women, learn to find your light so you're not insecure and mad and bitter. And treat people bad. A lot of people, especially Black women in the legal industry, I got the worst from them.
Okay.
So to our corporate women that listen to invisible women, the corporate women, the lawyers, the young lawyers that's listening, don't let your insecurities lead you out of a situation where you could be blessed because you insecure about a woman that look like you, that's doing something different than you. We all have gifts. So don't be intimidated or jealous by the next invisible woman next to you.
There you go.
Because we all are striving to be visible in a world that tries to make us invisible. Let me pull this card.
Let's go with the card.
And I hope y'all come on to that game. And if you ain't caught on to it, you too slow. All right, so here is the prayer card. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Nehemiah 8:10. The joy of the Lord is my strength. The joy of the Lord is my strength. So what this means for us ladies and invisible women, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Ladies, when you feel like you're invisible, get your strength from God. And when you get your strength from God, he will give you joy. The joy of the Lord is our strength. So have joy in knowing that God is stronger than your circumstances. God is stronger than the company you work for. God is stronger than the marital issues you may face. God is stronger than the school problems you may have with your kids. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Make sure you repeat that and affirm God's words and repeat that back to God.
The joy
so God can stand on them, because God don't lie. The joy of the Lord is my strength. That's Nehemiah 8:10. So invisible women, walk around with joy, because God's strength is in joy. Walk around joy. Have joy in your heart. Have joy on the outside. Have joy in your smile. Have joy in how you treat yourself. Have joy in how you treat everybody else. I love y'all. Thank you for having me.
I love it. For our listeners, if you didn't learn one thing, it is to have joy in your heart. Tiffany M. Simmons, attorney Tiffany M. Simmons, said it here on the Invisible Women podcast. Make sure you go and follow her. We love you. You are great. You are special. And we know that you were put here to do just exactly what you were put here to do. And that is to share light with other women that look like you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day, listeners.
And keep shining, queen.
Thank you. Love you guys. The
we love you more.
All right. See you later, Simmons girls forever.
Get your wine. Bye.